Hello everyone, welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day video. As a high carb, low fat vegan, this is a weekend edition. Before we go any further, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my plant-based inspiration. If you make it all the way through, be sure to give this video a like, or even if you don't make it all the way through. I started my Sunday with some turmeric and ginger capsules. I get these from Motive 8. They are excellent. They're great when I don't always have time to whip up my turmeric beverage. I was a little sore from my workout from the day before, and so these really helped because I don't take pain medicine, right? So that really helped to aid and bring me some relief. Turmeric is great. This is my morning drink. It's some Earth Chimp. I will leave discount codes for everything. I added a little bit of this sea moss. I'll leave you a link to that if you guys want to check it out too. Some matcha and some Joy oat milk powder, along with I had some maca too that's also from Motive 8. I'll link all this below, and I've got discount codes for most everything that I've got, and that's just my favorite yummy drink that I drink every morning. Earth Chimp's great for a coffee replacement. It's got tons of probiotics. Here's the maca I was talking about. I'll normally open these up and break the capsules and put them in my drink and whisk it all up. Maca is great for immune support. It's great for female health, reproductive health. It's amazing. Mushroom supplement I take every day because I am somebody who has attention deficit, but I don't like to own it. I don't like to claim it. You know, meditation has helped with that greatly, but mushroom supplements do help with cognitive function, so I take those daily. This is also a really nice herb-based supplement that I take. I will link it below as well. It's got, like I said, herbs and probiotics. I just love to keep everything nice and healthy for me as a woman. I like to have preventatives. These are my vitamin Bs and my D3. They're all whole food, plant-based. Now, recently I had some of you ask about my nail care and my skin care. Now, I know you guys came here to see what I eat, so if you want, you can scroll down to the chapters below and fast forward to my food. But for those of you who wanted to know about my skincare, I'm going to share a little bit about that with you. So I use all natural products. I do not spend a great deal of money on my face products at all. Like, I use all natural stuff. Like the little toner that I'm using right there is just raw apple cider vinegar, and I can link that below. You can find that pretty much anywhere, but I can link one that's really good that you can find on Amazon. And I mix it with some Aztec clay. I had a few, like what looked like, I'm going to assume were hormonal breakouts, and so I just cleansed my face with Dr. Bronner's natural soap. That's all it was. And then mix some apple cider vinegar with my Aztec clay mask and just put it on, and it hardens for like 10 minutes and then wash it off. And I also only use coconut oil as a moisturizer, which is so great. And I'll wake up in the morning and my face looks brand new. I'll share the kind that I use for that as well. Next, I'm moving on to my morning routine. As far as the weekend goes, I have more time. And so I also had another one of you ask about the concept of two-way prayer that I shared about in the past. So in the morning, I do my meditation. I love on weekends where I have a little extra time and then I'll do this in the evenings as well, like after work. And so what I do for the two-way prayer, for those of you who wanted to know, is I just quiet the mind. It's really good to do first thing in the morning, but you can do it anytime. And come into like a deep meditative state, just breathing in and breathing out, maybe riding the wave of the breath. I like to rub my hands together to generate some heat and some energy, and place one hand on the heart and another hand on the belly, and just feel into the energy beneath my hands, and just breathe here in this moment, in with the breath and out with the breath. And after I've done this for a little bit, you can also read some spiritual texts or scriptures or whatever it is that is your thing. There's so many different things you could read, but it's not necessary, but it helps to kind of get you in that space. I like to come into prayers of gratitude, just mantras, chanting, so many different things you can utilize here. And so how this works is it's like creative writing 101 or like stream of consciousness. So in this instance, I'm asking a question about how can I have more honesty in my life. Like that was my question, right? And so you write out like what is your concept of God? I put Dear Divine Father, and then I write my question, which was, I think it was it was something about like, how can I have more honesty in different areas of my life? And then you write back with the term of endearment, like dear precious child, or dear beautiful girl, or whatever your term of endearment would be. And then you just let the pen flow. And it's like, what would your creator, what would your God consciousness, what would your higher power say to you in that moment? And you write it down, and it's beautiful. It's life-changing. And so that's what that is. And I'm glad I got to share about that with you. Next, I'm going to my lash appointment. I've heated up a couple of sweet potatoes. Do you know how cool it is that I can share my sweet potato with my kid? I just pass it back to her and we're sitting here sharing a sweet potato. Like, do you know how much joy it brings me that I have this healthy baby? I love that so much. You know, we've done baby-led weaning. She's vegan since she was in the womb. And it just makes me so happy. It brings me so much joy when both of my kids eat healthy. When my oldest eats fruit and eats veggies and eats potatoes, like, it just makes me happy. I've got some apples when we got home. I also made some lovely tea. I had some allergy stuff going on, but I zapped that right out of the park with my natural healing methods, my sea moss, my ginger. That's ginger in there. That is some tea, all herbal tea. Oh gosh, I love being able to heal myself just like that, knocked it out. Next, I'm going to be, so I want to make a blender soup, another one of those. Y'all have seen how I've made the blender soups in the past. They are so good. My girl, Oil-Free Witchy Vegan, she's on Instagram. Go check her out if you're on social media. She is a queen, and she makes these blender soups. She's also whole food, plant-based, Starch Solution, no oil. And so I've just followed this same little recipe every time. But the cool thing is you can do whatever you want with it. You don't even have to saute the garlic and the onions beforehand. It just all goes into the pot. The trick is, or the key is, the fire roasted tomatoes. That's your base, and it's really, really good. So I'm just chopping up my onion. That's the most work I had to do for this meal, was chop up the onion. Well, you know, really not that hard. And so I've got some other stuff. Oh, I'm showing you that I'm eating another apple here. I got some Pink Lady apples, which I normally don't get those because in the past I remember not liking them as much, but right now they're actually tasting better than some of the others. Remember I'd shared with you guys that apples weren't tasting the same. So literally I'm putting all of this in the pot, my 2 cans of fire roasted tomatoes. I always like to go for organic tomatoes when possible. However, Aldi's was out of them when I got my Instacart order. I've also got a can of carrots. You can also use frozen vegetables too. So I'll dump my can of carrots in there, and that saves me time from having to cut anything up. And then I've got a can of mushrooms. I just got to drain all the water out of all of those and then add them in. And then I've got some green beans. Green beans are also good to buy organic, but it's not always possible. Those green beans have a nice flavor to them, and they add such a pretty beautiful taste to this soup. And then some frozen peas. And so you got plenty of starch in there, you know, adding my carrots, and I'll also eventually add some potatoes too. I'm just going to add all of that in a 1 carton of veggie broth. I actually used a little bit more than a carton since I added extra veg this time. Like, I don't think I did. I wanted to make sure I just had a little extra broth, so that way it wasn't, I just felt led to add a little extra, you know, intuitive cooking. And getting your mushroom serving in there. Mushrooms are so good for you, you guys. I encourage you to find a way to eat them more. If you don't like mushrooms, I have a great video that shows you how to eat mushrooms in ways, or drink mushrooms in ways that you would have never known about. So I'll link that video above so you can check it out. Adding a little bit of garlic as well. You can never have enough garlic. I also wanted to share with you guys, I'm back on my broccoli kick where I'm buying the veggies and then going to steam them because they taste so much better. So I'm starting to challenge for myself. Today is May 1st as I'm recording this, but this was the day before May 1st. And so I was so pumped. I'm starting to challenge for myself, right? And it's add even more veggies to each meal, 30 minutes of movement a day, keeping up with my skincare routine at night, 1 meditation a day, shooting for 3 liters of water a day, which is like, it's pretty dang close to a gallon. I always used to drink a gallon whenever I was breastfeeding because you need it, right? And so like, I want to go back to that. I saw a post not long ago that said almost all of our problems could be solved for drinking more water. And think about that. That's powerful. And like that little bit of information is life-changing. Like, it's so true. There's a whole world of people out there that believe they're in this part of this whole water movement, like alkaline water, like the Kangen water people, like they have some very beautiful information on just how powerful water is for us. That's why I only drink spring water, alkaline water, things like this, because it's very, very important. So yeah, that's my challenge. I'm going to do it all May and hold myself accountable. I have a friend I'm going to send my checklist to every day. Oh, and one of the extra things was no extra teas from Starbucks and Black Rifle coffee, except for on the days that I teach yoga, because I like to have that little extra boost, and it's quicker to go pick it up versus make my drink at home. So just wanted to share that with you guys. If you guys want to do this challenge with me too, feel free. It will be life-changing. We're going to change our lives. What is it, 21 days to make a habit? So I blended up the soup. I heated up a golden potato. It was a larger sized one. And then I cut it in half and then blended some of it in one round of the soup and then blended some of it in the other round of blending. I didn't have to use an extra bowl this time. I just got to blend it all in the blender. This soup was so good. It always is. It's so pretty and it always tastes so good. And I'm just such a fan. I'm forever grateful to my beautiful social media friend who started making this soup. So just wanted to share it with you guys. It never gets old and it's so filling, and I brought some with me for lunch today. If you guys are enjoying my content, you can always support my channel further at buymeacoffee.com. You're so appreciated. I do upload videos every single week. You guys can always throw out your video suggestions to me. I am so honored to have you with me on this journey. Your presence is so appreciated. I'll see you next time.